Hi friends, we are in the chapter 3.6 Basics of HTML. So we are going to see what is HTML. To start with, we should have Notepad++ editor, which is very essential. And it makes the learning HTML and JSON much easier. That's the purpose again. So how to install? I have the link install Notepad++. You just click on that one. So if I click on this, so it will open the when you can just download and install it. Very simple process that you can try out. Okay, I'll not spend much time on that. You can go through the video and learn how to do that. So you are googling it, downloading it, and installing it. That's it. Okay. Then now I'll go into the JSON. See, first of all, we'll try to understand what is JSON. Then we will go into the HTML. Okay. That's what I am going to discuss first with you. What is JSON? So JSON is a method of data. I mean, keeping the data. That's it. Nothing special about JSON. Okay. Now, whatever we are seeing in the line number 5, 6, 7 is a basic tabular column of list of staff with name, mobile, gender, date of birth, area, and all things are there. Okay. This is nothing but a simple table column. Now, whatever you see in the line number 10, okay, then coming down up to line number 27, okay. This is also data. Whatever the data you are seeing in the tabular column, the same data is available in the JSON format. So this format between line 10 to 27 is called, we call it this as JSON. Okay. What is the special of JSON? So JSON is a easiest way of transferring data among the web applications. It can be web application, mobile application, any internet transaction. Through internet, we are sending data. The JSON is one of the ideal way to send the data. That's what the importance of JSON. So we should know a basic idea about JSON. Okay. Can you figure out what is the big difference between the tabular column and the JSON format? The very simple, all the data starts with double quotes and ends with double quotes. That's a primary thing, one. Then there is a tag and value, okay. And there is one object. See, this we call it as one object. Line number 12 to 18, okay. We call this as one object. The one object, it can be compared with one row of the tabular column. That's how it can be figured out, okay. So the number of columns in a table, similarly, it would an object refers to a row, and here the number of element, I would call the name as an element of the object, okay. So name is element, mobile is element, like that. It has 5 elements, and similarly the tabular column has 5 rows. 5 columns. Okay, that's a basic difference. And you could see something ends with comma. Okay, every element ends with comma, but it is amazingly the area doesn't ends with comma. Why? Because there is no further element behind the this area. Similarly here also, after Chromebet, you doesn't have the comma. Okay, and the one more thing you could see here, after one object, that is line number 18, you have comma, but in line number 25, you doesn't have comma. Why? Because there is no next object available. See, if at all the tabular column is going to have a third row, then the enhancing this JSON to third object, then means the second object should have comma. Okay. So being there is no further object, so there is no comma. Okay. That's how the JSON is it's a way of typing the data. Nothing special about it, but it's a very smart way of sending the data. That is how, that is the reason why the internet application, all the application in the internet are using the JSON. The next topic is HTML. So HTML is a technology through which a browser like Chrome or Firefox, whichever the browser is, the browser can showcase the content of a website or a web application. So that's a purpose of the HTML. Okay. So now we will be going in detail about the HTML and the basic components of the HTML. Okay. So that's what we are going to see now. So let me explain about the basic components of the HTML, and we will not go in deep about the coding of the HTML. So that's not the purpose or the scope of this particular training module. In this module, we are going to see the basic functionality of the HTML, and based on the output of the ChatGPT, we are going to copy the output of ChatGPT in the respective components of the HTML. So I'll be explaining about the components, only about the components, and from ChatGPT, what are the content to be copied to which component. That is what we are going to see now. Okay. So the HTML start with the like HTML tag and the end tag. That's how the HTML starts, and it has different subtags like head, body, and all. Under the head, there is a tag called title. So it is very important. Here, you need to type the purpose of the form. So for example, I need to add for example, I need to add department. Or I'll call new department. Okay. So what do you mean by new department? A form in which I can create a new department. That's a purpose. Likewise, you can have a title, so which will be displayed in the tab, in the browser tab. Okay. Then there is something called style. Okay. The style, the ChatGPT will be specifically say that copy this to this style. So that you need to copy that and put it in the style. That's it. So a style is basically to to change the look of the form more colorful. That's the purpose of the style. Okay. Then we'll come into the next component is JavaScript. So JavaScript is a tool or a component of HTML which will be playing a major role in event management. Like for example, I click on a button. So if I click on the button, what next to happen? So that will be taken care by the script, that is JavaScript. And again, you need not worry what to type in. That will be given by the ChatGPT. You just copy from there and put it here. That's it. Paste it here. That's how it should be. And the final thing is the body of the HTML. So preferably there would be two panels, panel 1 and panel 2. Of course, you can increase to panel 3 also if at all required. That your admin will be assisting you to do that if at all required. Okay. Okay. Or else the panel 1 and panel 2 itself is more than sufficient. Okay. So again, ChatGPT will be giving the information what are to be copied under the panel 1 and under the panel 2. That's it. Of course, we are going to see that how this is going to happen in the preferably in the next video. Okay. So this is all about the HTML. So you need not go in deep about what is the tag and what are the commands of the HTML. All those things, of course, that is not the scope of this particular training program. Here, whatever the information provided by ChatGPT, that we are going to copy and paste it here. That's it. Once this is done, your particular form is ready. You have to copy this form to the browser and the browser will be working. That's it. I mean, it is a very simple process. Only thing you have to understand, there are altogether 4 components. One is title. The title makes a lot of understanding. It gives a more understanding to the user on which option they are. And the style is look and feel of the form. Third one is the JavaScript, which takes care of the event management. like mice, when you're moving the mouse or mouse click, change of the data in a particular object, all those things will be taken care by the JavaScript. And finally, the basic objects like text box or label or drop down, whatever, all those information will be kept in panel 1 or panel 2. So all those information will be given by ChatGPT. You need to copy where in the respective place. That's it. If that is done and you copy that to the browser, the process is completed and you can start using the application. That's all. It's a very simple process. Fine. Now we are going to see the actual the PHP file which has to be downloaded from the given link in the PPT. Okay, for that you need to go to the last but one, the slide. There is a link called AI prompt. Okay, you click on that. It's a folder. Once you open the Google Drive folder, there is a file called PHP form template. Yeah, it's a template. Okay, so that you need to download. So I'll click download. Okay, fine. So once you download, then you need to open that in the Notepad. Okay. So this is the actual PHP, the file in which we need to copy the content of the ChatGPT. Okay, this is a template. Like for a specific form type, this is a template. Okay. So under this, there are the modules or the components, okay, which we need to copy. So the first component is PHP component. If at all you are getting the information from ChatGPT that need to be copied to the PHP format, that has to be copied here. Okay, that is point number 1. Then the next point is the title. So whatever the title you want to have, like what the purpose of the form. You are doing an form for a customer ad. Then you can put new customer or customer ad, whatever. Okay. That depends upon the requirement of the form. Okay. Then the next part would be the style. The style is given here. Okay. The style has to be copied between the style and the script has to be copied. JavaScript has to be copied between the script. Okay. These are the things that we need to note down. Then finally, the form, the object of the HTML form that need to be copied either between the panel 1 or panel 2. Okay, depends upon the information given from the ChatGPT. Once this done, then you need to copy this PHP to the cloud, then you can start using it. That we are going to see in the next video or upcoming video, so that you will learn how to do that. Okay, fine. So with this, the chapter 3.6 is over. So we will meet you in the next video. Okay, fine. Until then, take care.